as we approach the new year and I'm in the holiday spirit, I'm in the giving spirit of the holidays, I want to give advice to my female viewers, my large audience of female viewers. Because I realized in my last video, and I've done this often, right? I identify all these problems, which there are many, but I don't always provide solutions. And you people want solutions, right? You want solutions. And I want to give that to you. So here is my advice. Here is my dating advice for the modern woman living in this modern culture. And it's pretty simple. So I'm going to really have to drag this out to make it go more than a 1 minute video. The advice is this. Assuming that you've decided that you don't want to just live your life perpetually as a hoe, right? And if you want to, then do that, right? You don't need any advice for that. That's pretty simple and easy to do. But if that's not what you want, here is one solution. Now, it's not going to be bulletproof, right? There's never going to be a bulletproof solution to anything, and particularly in this area. Why? Because there's always things that you can't control. There's elements of life that are unpredictable, but especially with regards to human behavior. And that someone might say something that's not true, and you can't really control when people lie. Sometimes you can have a sort of way of determining or having a hunch that someone's lying, a gut feeling, maybe their body language, maybe a lack of consistency, and so on. But unless you're an expert detective, your skills might be a little bit limited in that way. Now, that all being said, the advice is this. You go on a date with a guy. You don't do a bunch of small talk bullshit. You can throw in some of that, but make sure ahead of time, not in a way that's just like being super serious and like no fun, but ask some of the important questions. And you know what those are to you. You ask some of the important questions. But the main thing you're going to do is, if you really like this guy and he more or less seems to be on the same page as you in terms of values and that you could have a good time with him, you see the potential, whatever, at the end of the date, this might seem bold. This might even seem unattractive, particularly based on how you're sort of how it's seen that you're supposed to behave these days, right? But what I want you to do is you ask him at the end of the date, say, if you knew that you could be in a relationship with me, that was possible or likely, but it would require you to delete your dating apps and stop going on dates with other women starting now, would you take that deal? And I know some of you are going to be opposed. Oh, that sounds too needy. That sounds eager, creepy, controlling, whatever. And to that I say, whatever. All I say is whatever. Because we can look at all the other things that you probably do and sort of the decisions that you make in dating that are far more destructive and don't lead you to where you want to be, right? So let's compare this option with all the other things that you probably have done that probably generally haven't led you anywhere useful. I'm just assuming. I could be wrong. You could be in a very happy relationship right now, and for some reason you're watching the Defending Champ channel. Unlikely, but possible. So comparing this option to the other options that you've been doing, it's probably not so crazy. And the reason why I'm suggesting this is because I'm trying to tie in what I said in my last video about accepting reality and the nature of men and women in the game and so on. And I want to start trying to provide solutions out of this. You can't completely escape the sort of toxic culture, and you're going to probably run into a lot of toxic people because of that. But now we got to strategize. Now we got to figure our way. How are we going to navigate through these treacherous waters? And here is what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling you to do. And I've already acknowledged that you can always come up with the reasons why it could or couldn't work out or whatever. But generally speaking, this is the way to go. Why? Because the truth is, the guy has already made up his mind. Either he's a player and he wants to date a bunch of people and he's not going to commit to you for that reason, or he knows how much he likes you because he's been able to see, assuming that you're not too nervous to be cool, right? Then he's seen if you have a good personality. He's seen how attracted to you he is. And he knows, based on his life experience, how much he should or shouldn't appreciate whatever's going on there. And how easy in his mind you are to replace. And the fact is that if you aren't already above whatever his idea is on what someone should be like to be worthy of his attention, enough to just say, yeah, fuck it, I'd delete the dating apps to be with you. Fuck yeah. Then I would say most likely, almost certainly, he's not that into you. Right? In which case, if you want to make the decision, like I said before, to be a hoe and to sleep with guys like that, whatever, you can make that choice, go for it. But acknowledge that that's what you're doing and that this is the sort of cycle that's never going to really end for you. Or that there's at least a high chance that it won't. And this is a way out. This is a way to save your time, your energy, and it's a way to also not get, eventually if you have all these experiences too, because I think what a lot of people do, especially younger women, they say, oh, well, I'm just going to party it up in my 20s and I'll get serious in my 30s. And it doesn't matter, however you frame the time that you're going to just kind of take it easy and get serious one day, those experiences will impact you. You'll get a little worn down. You'll get jaded. You're going to have more baggage through disappointing experiences and so on. So it's not really a good idea to do that. Oh, I'm just going to fuck around for now. I'll get serious later. Probably not a good idea. There's a lot of things that you're not really considering when you have that game plan. But then again, if you've thought things through and you've talked to people and you've talked to yourself and you've reflected on what you want in life and, serious committed relationships aren't that valuable to you, then none of this advice really applies. But if you want a boyfriend, maybe even a husband, or even something in between that, something long-term, something stable, something relatively healthy-ish commitment, this is the way to go. Ask the important questions. At the end of the day, say, hey, if you could be in a relationship with me, would you delete all your dating apps today? I'm just wondering. And I don't know. I haven't thought about the perfect way to frame that question. I'm open to different ways of phrasing that that's more or less effective. But that's the general idea that I'm suggesting. And if the guy's a little bit kind of caught off guard, I don't say that's a deal breaker. But if the more doubt and the more reluctancy there is in his voice, the more you're going to know, yeah, this is probably a no-go. And grow the confidence in yourself to walk away. And wait for the guy who's excited by that question.